But look, Dr. Tarver, we have the privilege of having our next guest coming on. She's a Louisiana native. She resides in Houston, Texas. She practices as a nursing professor and nurse manager with an insurance company. In addition to her medical career, she's a CEO, founder of Strong Squad, her own company, her own brand. She's an artist. I mean, an artist, but she's in that regard as it relates to a fitness artist. But what she is really is an author. She loves motivating and inspiring others. She has a book that's coming out. Her book comes out in January, hopefully January or February. I'm excited to get it.
I know, fingers crossed.
It's going to be when? When is it? The book coming out?
Fingers crossed, January.
So hopefully this book is coming out in January. She's a mother of two children, and she loves to travel. You can follow her on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Strong Squad. I've seen some of the outfits, but I've never seen them for guys. But the outfits for the ladies, they look outstanding. And most importantly, besides being a nurse, a leader, a manager, a professor, and a mother, she's a survivor of cancer. And I want her to come on the show to tell us about the impact of COVID on small businesses and how it impacts your businesses. What were some of the challenges and how did you shift in these trying times? So without further ado, help me welcome Ms. Holly Cotton. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Our Own Defense.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Well, so my first question, is just that, Ms. Cotton, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know I gave the people your background and all that. Tell us more about you, please.
Okay, so like you said, I think basically my life, Strong Squad is all about life after. So where I am right now is life after cancer. So I was just trucking along in life, taking everything for granted, doing whatever, just living normal. And then when I got diagnosed at 36 with breast cancer, I was like, okay, this is totally unexpected. I'm at the peak of where I need to be physically. I thought I was doing well, all of this stuff. So, so after I got over that process, because going through cancer is just a whole process by itself. But after like the year of, recovery and all of that, then I started like reaching out to, other survivors. And then it became where other survivors started reaching out to me. And I realized that I needed to shift my focus, because before everything was why me? Like, why did this happen to me? What did I do? I didn't smoke. I didn't do this. Like, I'm healthy. Why me? Why me? And then I shifted to the why me, as in, okay, well, I'm still here for something else other than just to live my life or whatever. So that's pretty much like where I am right now. So I'm in my life after cancer. What am I doing? How am I impacting people? I don't want to just be here just doing the same thing we all do, be complacent with life. Like, I want to actually live the life that I have left, and especially being around other survivors and having, people that I get close to and they actually get cancer again. I just had a close friend that I made 5 or 6 years ago, and she actually had metastatic breast cancer, and she had a reoccurrence, and she died in like 3 months after they found out that she had breast cancer again. So, it just really shifts, like, how long do I have left? Like, what, anything can happen, which is the life of a survivor. But I just want to make sure that who I am is remembered, and, live my life, be memorable. Like, don't just be another cute person or, somebody that works out. Like, I have a story. And so that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And I'm just trying to live the best life I can right now. And that's the whole Strong Squad development part.
So I appreciate you just sharing your journey about breast cancer, because I think that affects so many women, and we frequently don't talk about it. We're really ashamed. We get breast cancer. Often people are very silent about it. We hide it. People just kind of disappear. you mentioned something that I want to kind of live in for a second, and that's the why me part, right? Like I was doing all of this healthy stuff.
Mhm.
And so you created this brand, Strong Squad. Talk to people about like, hey, you can be doing all of this great stuff and you still have risk factors. So here's how I've been able to live in both of those spaces, because I know that every 6 months or every year, whatever you're on right now in terms of how frequently they check you, like that's still a part of that process. So kind of talk to us a little bit more about living in that space.
Yes, you're exactly right. So every year in October, it's like the dreaded annual visit, and I start reflecting. My friends, like I'm texting them, hey, just in case I didn't tell you, I loved you guys. And they're like, oh Lord, it must be time for her annual visit. But I'm like, what I say all the time to people is that, I want where I am right now. Yes, I survived cancer, but I try to not belittle other things that people have gone through. Like, yeah, my survivorship is cancer, but guess what? You survived life. Like, you're still here right now because you survived goodness knows what, So I try to make sure I'm like, hey, this is me. Like, yeah, I'm tough and I'm not going to let cancer beat me. And I want people to see me like, wow, like I can't believe, like they're like, wait a minute, you had cancer? I'm like, yes, that's how Strong Squad came about. But I think that, it's so hard because sometimes I forget too. And then when I get humbled in October and I go to that visit and they do those blood work at panels, and I get the breast cancer titer and I get, all of that. I mean, I've had to have a total hysterectomy because they thought I had ovarian cancer a few years ago. So like, to be 36, to be 40 and in menopause, like you guys don't realize, you're complaining every month, but from my perspective, you have a good life. You haven't had to go through all of this. So what I try to do is just use that because like I said, and you reiterated the why me, because I feel like, you know what? If you're having a bad day and you're whining about doing something, guess what, honey? I did this too. Like, you can't work out. Like, the biggest thing is, I know Anthony sees me all the time doing my workout videos or whatever, but and so I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, so I just want to use my life as a platform. And yes, I do. I like health and fitness is very important to me because I know that your life expectancy at living a healthier lifestyle, you're more capable of beating those things. Your defense, your immune system, everything is higher whenever you're in shape. So that is a motivator for me as well, to eat right and do stuff. And then looking good, that comes with it too. It's like, okay, this might actually kind of work together. But that's what I do. And that's why like breast cancer is a big cause for me. We donate every year. That's one of the things we try to do for our community. Give back is that I definitely try to give to like breast cancer charities that are local, that actually help cancer patients and survivors, not the big one that gets you all your money and no one ever sees it. Like, we try to get right into the community, do everything in community level. And then that's my way of doing it, because that whole thing is overlooked. Like, people don't realize that until you're going through cancer and you don't have money to pay for doctor's visits and testing and things like that. And then you're like, well, where do I get resources from? And you don't know that, just until it happens to you. So I try to educate that, try to push that stuff. And then at the same time, use me as a billboard. Like, well, gee, if, she can get up and go do things and have gone through cancer and all of this stuff. And it's very, I try to be very transparent about it. I never, I never say hide it or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that was a chapter. It's not my whole book, but that was a chapter. And now here we are with this, the next chapter, life after cancer, and what we're doing. I know that's a lot. Sorry.
No, but I love the part about life after cancer, that you're not just this diagnosis, that you have a life that you have created, a brand you have created, a company that you have created since that time, a book that will be coming out, and we're going to claim January. We absolutely are. Because I think sometimes people don't.
Book number two.
Book number two. I think sometimes people can get stuck in all of the things that have happened, and it doesn't allow them to be able to move forward in their present and think about their future.
Right. And to say, to just kind of piggyback on what you said about the survivorship, and as women like that don't tell it, I went through that too. Like when I was first diagnosed, and I was going through it, like my healing process, like I was so tired of everyone, oh, you have oh, I'm sending, and like you just get to the point where you're like, please stop feeling sorry for me, or please stop. Like, I don't want another pink ribbon item in my house. Like, leave me alone with the pink ribbons. But I think a lot of women, like, they get to the point where they don't know how to maybe, and maybe I don't want to say don't know how, but they choose not to embrace that chapter, and embrace that. They just want to put it away because it was bad, it was just, just a bad part in life. They went through cancer, they did all of this, lost hair, do all of these things. You want to push it behind you. And I think that, that's fine. I respect that for, survivors that I come in place with. But for me, I think that, telling my story, I get people that, hey, you had cancer. My wife just got diagnosed with cancer. Or, oh my gosh, my mom just got breast cancer. Can she call you? I'm like, yes, of course. I have people that text me up for Christmas. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Oh, good, you're still alive. Yeah, Merry Christmas. And you just forget like how many people that you've actually talked to over, this 8 years of survivorship that I've been in. So, not everyone wants to tell the story, but I'm telling mine.
And I think that's what makes you, if I can, I think that's what makes you authentic, and people, besides you're a model and model at all of these, what is it, Target, Sport Academy, and all of this,
Yeah.
past that
Don't
life.
Get carried away. Sorry to choke me. Not yet, but it's coming.
Past that, you're a female business owner, and as a female business owner, and we know that there's a real why behind your business. Oftentimes, when there's a why behind the business, it's easy to support the brand because there's a real why, there's a real passion. Veterans Defender, there's definitely a why behind my company, and it allows me to succeed because it's not work. Every day I get up and I'm excited about helping veterans. Every day you get up and you're excited about helping Strong Squad. But I was reading an article at the United States Chamber of Commerce, and it says, while businesses of COVID-19 has varied depending on the industry, there's been one group that has been particularly hit hard in America: women-owned businesses. According to a recent survey by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the number of female business owners who rank their businesses' overall health as somewhat very good fell 13% during the pandemic, 60% in January, 47% in July 2020, while male business owners reporting good business health only fell 5.67%, it's about 62%. Female small business owners are also less likely to expect future success compared to their male counterparts. Revenue, they're expecting to be down. Investments, people invest in their company, and staffing challenges. What are you doing as a female business owner to increase? I look at your price structure. You have very competitive prices on your website. If you look at some of these websites where people have businesses that are in the fitness space, their price is outrageous. You're like, what? Why does a t-shirt cost $50? You have $5 items and $20 items. While this is definitely not an infomercial for your website, as a business owner, how have you been impacted by COVID as a female business owner? What are you doing to bounce back and be resilient even as you navigate this space?
Right. Well, the biggest thing for me is that I watched a video and it said that success is defined as what was it called? A progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So for me, when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, worthy ideal. That's what I'm trying to push. I don't care what you're going through. I have people in Strong Squad that have lost children, that have lost spouses, that have, it's not just survivorship of cancer, but it's just something that happened in life. And I'm like, and here I am trying to, charge $50 for a shirt or $30 for a t-shirt. Like, I want you to feel like you are part of our squad with just a minimal contribution, because I do use a lot of the profits to go right back in and do our community projects. So but I think the biggest thing that I've learned during this COVID was how important social media marketing is. Like, I've always been kind of like a social media person, post a little cute picture on Instagram, do whatever. And I ran into some people who actually had, some really successful businesses, and I networked with them, and they were like, hey, listen, we believe in you. Like, you are the product. You need to make sure that you are doing your customer experience where any person that you talk to, because it's not like Nike where you can get mad at Nike and at a Nike employee, like, you're still going to buy Nike. But if someone gets mad at you as a small business owner, or they don't like your experience or whatever, oh my gosh, wildfire is going down. So I was like, you know what? I need to focus on those little things. And so the way that my website and my pricing is structured is that I make it survive by quantity and quality. So if I have a t-shirt for $20, I may sell two, and then someone's mom is like, oh, I like that t-shirt, or a guy will be like, oh, I like the shorts too, or whatever, or a hoodie for $25. You're going to buy multiple products. So, and not only that, but you give them away. I have people who might buy a t-shirt for themselves or buy two, and their kid takes one. Now they're back buying another one because it's just $20. Yeah, well, okay, it's just $20, but you've spent $100 in one order, So I think that's the quantity part, and then the customer experience and that marketing has been huge for me too, as well as just being shared and talked about and doing more and more. I mean, my Instagram is kind of popping right now, so I'm getting a lot of traffic that comes in. And, what someone explained to me was that women are emotional buyers. And I've known that for a while. And, it's hard for a woman to have this line. Like, men, you can go out and be sexy and promote whatever, and women will support you. But women, it's a fine line, because if they think that you look better than them or something, or you're whatever, so it's kind of hard. And that's why I keep Facebook really light. Like, I'm motivational, I do stuff. So I think that having that adds to the customer experience, so people feel like they know me. Like, sometimes I have to tell people, like, in my DMs, like, listen, I know you feel like you know me, but you really do not. We're not really friends. Like, like, they get so caught up in thinking like they know me because I'm cracking jokes, or they see me do a video or whatever. So, but for me, that's the whole customer experience. So I think that that's why, I didn't see, actually, I started a whole nother line as well, which is my Bombshell line, which was catered to women specifically, as well as a swimsuit line. And then I still kept my Strong Squad and Shred, which are my fitness accessories and t-shirts and things like that. And I just combined them together. But I think that for me, I was actually able to use this COVID as a time to restructure, a time to refocus, and realize, okay, well, since we're only doing virtual everything, how can I do it? How do I get more people? What can I do? I started doing more podcasts to get my name out there. I started doing my own Zoom calls to try and get people who are affiliated with Strong Squad. Tell your story. Like, why do you feel like you're part of the squad? What did you go through? So that's my whole philosophy, is that whole marketing thing. I didn't realize how important it is, because, like someone told me, you are the brand. You are your name. Like, that's it. You're the brand. You're the Nike check. So if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not doing all of these things, quit being quiet, quit being humble. Like, come out swinging, and do more, more visual things. Make sure you stay in the spotlight, things like that. So that's all part of that social media aspect. And I've definitely used that to grow.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that information, because I do think you hit on a lot of the issues that women struggle with. Attorney Winters and I were talking about this just the other day about the differences in when women present information versus you have a good looking guy, women are going to come, like they're going to support the
Right.
pops collar, flash his smile over there. But it is,
Yes.
there is.
Calm down.
But there is sometimes that jealousy that happens, and that like, hey, I don't want to support you. You think you're too cute, or right. And we get caught up in the stuff that's just far away from your mission. But if you could, I think this is a perfect segue into sharing your social media, you have already got a book out, please share the title of that, share information that you would like our viewers and listeners to be able to leave with, because this is yet another opportunity for you to plug yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So my website is super easy. It's www.strongsquadfit.com. My social media is every single social media is my name. So Facebook is Holly Cotton. Instagram is Holly Cotton _. And then you can email me, send me a DM, whatever. And I also have a Facebook group where we do a lot of interactive stuff. I try to do motivational things, post workouts. We're starting a January challenge where, I want to like teach people how to read labels and how nutrition is so important, because I think a lot of people after New Year's come in and they want to lose all this weight and they don't have an idea, and they just this is like syrup or whipped cream or whatever, and I'm like, okay, let's learn portion control. So yeah, so that's all my social media, really easy to find me. Everything is my name. And my first book is called Strong More Than Muscles. It's available on every platform, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart.com, whatever it is. And then my next book is going to be called Day One. And I actually shifted. Strong More Than Muscles is about my story as a survivor and just how I came about my diagnosis. And I get a lot of breast cancer patients and survivors who love the book because they're like, oh, is this what to expect? Or, oh, I thought I was the only one going through this. And not only that, but I put elements of Strong Squad and strong being more than muscles, because yeah, I work out, but everyone is strong in their own way, so I wanted to make sure I differentiated between the two. But my next book, Day One, fingers crossed, will be out in January. I just did my first proof. And that's just going to be a motivational about your goals and things, because I talk so much about how to design your goals, how to get it together, quit making mistakes, just start, all of these things. And I was like, what? I'm going to write a book about this, because I give this advice all the time. And so I've been working on that during COVID too. So just another, I've been working during COVID, we've been trying to get multiple faucets here. So yeah, that's all my information.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Cotton. Now, Dr. Tarver, Ms. Cotton said a lot of great things there to discuss. And I know we have another guest, but I definitely want your take on Dr. Tarver when she was talking about the resiliency and resistance as it relates to being a small business owner and opening up. What do you think, from your perspective, Dr. Tarver, what do you think helps drive us there? When I'm weak, like at times, this thing has just gone on forever, it feels like. I don't know when the last time we all been outside. And so outside has been closed in my life for a long time. So what do we do when we have that, what we in the military used to call it mission creep? Dr. Tarver, what is your take on, or your advice to business owners when they are experiencing mission creep of us being stuck in the house?
Ms. Cotton actually alluded to it when she talked about her upcoming group that she'll be starting about helping people set goals, read labels, right? Frequently what we end up doing is we stop having a plan. So we have that vision, and then something happens, right? So COVID happens and we have to adjust, and then we get stuck in that and we don't come out of it. And so you have to change your goals. You have to change your plan. People do frequently have a hard time actually creating goals for themselves. They're not specific. They're not measurable. They're not observable. They're just very broad, right? So, okay, I need to get on these platforms, but what's my actual steps going to be, right? So if I'm not as savvy as Ms. Cotton is on these platforms, then that means I need to hire somebody that can manage them for me. If I'm not good about putting pictures out, then I need to have somebody that has pictures that is pushing me to get stuff out daily or weekly, whatever my goal is. If I don't have a timeline for when I want things to be completed, then I need to create a timeline. My favorite is an accountability partner, and that's what Ms. Cotton has in her group. She has people to hold her accountable. It doesn't do any good if the idea just stays in my head. That's not going to help anybody. All of us have gifts and talents that we need to be sharing with people. And so we need to have those partners that are going to push us. So sometimes when I can't see the way out, my partner may be able to. So those are some things that I would recommend to help people when they get in that, as you called it, what, mission creep?
Well, I think that was very telling to tell that story. Only two things, Ms. Cotton. We actually two things. When we have our book series, you promised to come on our show and discuss your book with us.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And we buy books.
I would love to.
Yeah, we don't talk it. We buy multiple books. We bought 6 of one of our guest books this past week, and so we really believe in our guests and our audience. And number 2. We patronize our guests, so we'll go to the show, we'll go to your website, and we will definitely buy some of the Strong Fit because these prices are really reasonable. Like I can't believe that. So we definitely will. And I like the shred look that you have for men. So thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a challenge.
Thank you guys.
We wish you much success in your business ventures in 2021 and much health.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.